The next step is to create a wise plan to track your expenses. Where does your money actually go? You know, this includes all the regular things like mortgages and rents, bills, groceries, travel, council tax, etc. And we often call these fixed expenses. They are the non-negotiables that recur every month and are necessary for daily living. But not all expenses are created equal. And this is where budgeting becomes more than just a list of things that our money goes to, and it becomes a spiritual practice of discernment. Because there is a difference between a necessary expense and a luxury expense. You see, a necessary expense puts food on the table and keeps the lights on. A luxury expense adds comfort or enjoyment to your life. Things like streaming services, daily coffee shop runs, gym memberships, shopping sprees, holidays, takeaways, etc. Those are luxury expenses. Now, luxury expenses aren't bad. God gives us good things, and he gives us them to enjoy. But I do feel like luxury expenses should come at the end of our budgeting, not right at the beginning. And so it's wise to ask ourselves when we're looking at the list of where our money goes, is this expense aligned with my values? Is this expense serving my calling or simply feeding my convenience? And what would it look like to simplify one area to make room for greater generosity and margin in another? Proverbs 21:17 says, "Whoever loves pleasure will become poor, and whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich." In other words, when the pleasure becomes the goal instead of the byproduct, we run the risk of consuming everything and storing up nothing. Wisdom calls us to live a life of self-control, not self-indulgence. Not because God is stingy, but because he desperately wants us to live a life of freedom. Freedom from anxiety, freedom from excess, and freedom from the pressure to keep up with those around us.